Let's talk about the real reason a lot of men seek out young women. Spoiler alert, it's because you're easy to manipulate. Now, men will come on here and try to convince you that the reason us older girls say this is because we're bitter and washed up and jealous. A, baby, it never gave that. Two, I would say half the women my age never dated older guys when we were younger because we were heavily controlled by our parents, which in one way protected us from these older men. But see, a lot of women who did date these older men when they were younger had a terrible experience, and what they're trying to do is share their experience to stop you making the same mistakes. So please, if you're a younger woman, I would ask you to listen to this message with an open heart, because we have nothing to gain by telling you this apart from you telling us that we're old and washed up. So the first thing you need to understand about men in general is that men and women have two different agendas. So men's agenda is to have sex, and women's agenda is to be in long-term relationships or marriages. So even on an age-to-age basis, men are usually employing some kind of trickery or bending of the truth to get what they want from a woman, which is sex. The reality is a lot of women have been tricked out of their box because they think that the man is going to take the box and then give them the relationship. And what happens is the man takes the box and we all know what happens next. Not much. Now imagine that scenario with a 5, 10, 15-year age gap. Because in most circumstances, when you have that much age on someone, you have more life experience. You have more resources. You have more money. You have more dating experience. So you can present something to someone that if it's their first time hearing it, they can be very open and very trusting to believing. And let me run through some of the excuses that men will use and let me call bullshit on them. So the first thing they will say is they're innocent, which means you're easier to manipulate because you don't know what's going on. Or it means that you haven't been sampled by the world and they want to be the first one to sample you. We'll talk about how they don't want a woman that's been, out there, that's been slept with by a lot of men, and that's why they want younger women. So, factual history shows that women are becoming more promiscuous by the generation. Now, no hate, no shade to the promiscuous women out there. I'm just trying to make a point. So as a man, if you're looking for a woman that has less bodies, you're probably more likely to find that in a 30, 35, 40-year-old woman than a 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old woman. Or at least they will at max be at similar numbers, because the older generation are coming from a time where it was much more heavily judged to be promiscuous than it is now. It is the city girl era right now. All the songs, we had Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown and everyone lost their mind. Right now, everybody is a city girl. The culture is city girl. The culture is whatever men can do, we can do better and better. These young ladies out here, the ones that are promiscuous, are capital P promiscuous. Again, no shade, I surely don't give a damn. I'm just trying to explain the point. Men will say, these older women have kids, they want someone fresh. Half of you guys are baby fathers, so you also have kids and you're the reason they have kids. But also, you have clearly displayed that you didn't marry these women. You didn't stick with your family. So what is it that you want to do? Plant seeds and then leave? Because I really hate when men spin this narrative of everything they want from these younger girls. Younger girls are cleaner. Young girls have a lower body count. Younger girls are more open to listening. Okay, and then you're going to get all that and then treat them like dirt anyway. Waste their time anyway. Ruin their innocence anyway. Younger girls, I am not saying this because I'm hating on you or because I'm jealous. I'm saying this because I've seen this. This is a tale as old as time. Shout out Beauty and the Beast. Men want you to be innocent so they can take it. A lot of men derive a lot of pleasure from taking a younger girl's virginity or being her first experience with a man. They have a very weird fetish with that. And then when you point this out, they actually lose their minds. Like, I have done a similar video to this before, and the men in the comments are literally deranged. Men like to deal with younger girls because when they're running game on them, because you're so young, you are not familiar with the game. You haven't heard this type of game before. You can't run the same game that you run on an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old, most times on a 30, 31, 32-year-old, because the older ladies know better. Also, younger women have lower expectations. So if you get with a 23-year-old, she is probably more likely to let you coast for longer before starting to talk about marriage and seriousness and mortgage. Whereas older women who have lived life, when they meet someone, they're ready to start life, they're ready to be grounded, they're ready to set roots, they're looking at serious things. So men have come to understand quite quickly that youth buys them time. And men are always, okay, some men are running from responsibility. So where's the easiest place to run if you're running from responsibility? Into the arms of someone who is young and in the phase of their life where they're just having fun and enjoyment and excitement. But then again, the other side of the coin that men will not tell you. When they meet you in your youth and you're doing youthish things, they start to put pressure on you, like telling you things are childish, not wanting you to go out with your friends, not wanting you to party, not wanting you to enjoy yourself, because he's headed for retirement and you're just blooming. But he tries to hold you back because he's not doing those things. He's done them. Men will have the cheek to tell women not to do things that they've been doing for decades. Like, please let this young woman enjoy herself, granddad. The sad thing we need to understand, and I'm being so honest, is that a lot of men are creeps. A lot of men will use the justification of, oh, she's legal, to do inappropriate things with women who are of an inappropriate age difference. I saw someone said if they lowered the age of consent to 15, you would see a lot of grown men walking around with 15-year-olds, and I could not agree more. The reality is when they say they want you for your innocence, what they mean is they want you for your naivety, for your lack of knowledge and experience. So as someone who is old and knowledgeable and experienced, I am telling you, stop dating these older men. The little bit of cash they are going to drop on you is not worth it, because their knowledge and their ability to manipulate is light years beyond you. Now, I don't usually get irritated on this app because as far as I'm concerned, it's a bunch of strangers that I've never seen, nor am I ever going to see a day in my life. But it actually pisses me off when I go in the comments and there are women, older women, talking about, oh, you're just jealous, you're just bitter. Sis, you need help, because you have seen with your own eyes, if you're an older woman or experience older men using and manipulating young women, and you are going to open your mouth and say that because your cousin is with her man who's 10 years older than them. There's always an exception to the rule. But let's not act like this is not a real issue and this is not something that younger girls need to look out for. I find it very disgusting when women make excuses for men's bad behavior. And no, this is not every man, but it's enough men that we need to, as women who have lived this dating life, warn our younger sisters, cousins, friends, people, just our gender. Women have it tough enough as it is without us sitting here and making excuses for these kind of men. So call me bitter, call me used, call me old. I surely don't give a damn. Young ladies, protect yourself. Be aware of this. If a man is significantly older than you and he is running you down and chasing you, he has an ulterior motive than just wanting to be with you. He wants to take something from you, whether it be your youth, whether it be your innocence, whether it be your virginity. Please be on red alert. And I'm not saying a significant age gap can never work. I'm saying it fails often more time than it works, because these men that are saying they don't want these older women, they're not finding these younger women to take them seriously. They're finding you to take what they can from you, and then they're going to leave you just like they left the woman that was older than you that they picked up when she was young and your age. Be very careful and be very vigilant. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you. Mwah.
Eventually, they're going to leave you for someone who is younger when you're old. Then they be like, yeah, I got new fresh blood because now you're wiggled. Because now you can see his game. Now you can see him for who he really is. And then he's going to call you old and pathetic and outdated. Then he's going to leave you for a newer, bouncier, cool girl. And you'll be left in the trash can, and you'll be all over the internet making noise because you did not listen. You're not going to be young forever, okay? You're aging. This thing is not permanent, okay? The young ones are coming and they're looking at them. They pray them very young. even at 2 years old.